And we are live. Welcome to Glammaz Closet, guys. Good morning, everyone. Or nobody. I don't know. Is anybody out there? Good morning. It is Sunday morning, so it is time for Glammaz Live Sunday Brunch and the closet news. Every Thursday morning, I am still live with Johnny on Cajun Roots Reseller at 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And we talk about all things Poshmark. So we'll have a lot to talk about this week because I did the Poshmark live show for the first time yesterday. So that was very, very interesting. I also had, let's see, just a second. And I'm back. Sorry, my apologies. I thought I felt something crawling across my foot. So I found a spider. I'm getting a little creeped out today because I went back to grab the shirt that I put on the back deck to air out, and I had sprayed it with vodka and all of that stuff and put it on the back deck to air out before I wash it, so that my washing machine is not full of somebody else's perfume that it's unattractive to my nose. So and I found a spider living in the shirt. So I'm a little creeped out. It was a pretty big spider. And then I felt something on my leg. So I'm so sorry. But that's what's happening on Thursday mornings, still with Johnny on Cajun Roots Reseller. And that's Cajun with the K. Check it out. We talk again about all things posh, and we'll be discussing my experience with the live this morning, yesterday afternoon. Sorry. So first in chat, good morning, Veronica Mitka. She's going to have to miss this one since she's heading to the airport to pick up Mama. Hello. Well, give Mother all of our love and welcome to the U.S. And I hope that she enjoys her stay. I hope that you enjoy her stay. And it's got to be lovely and wonderful to be able to see your mother again. So definitely the best excuse for not coming I've ever heard. Yeah, it's pretty good. Patrick Murphy, good morning. Why, yes, hello, panel and chat, stopping in to say hi. It's hello and light up that thumbs up button. And New England Betty Boop, good morning, Lisette. I really enjoyed your show. What I could catch of it last night was date night, so I was up a little later than normal. And unfortunately it was right at when we were supposed to be leaving for dinner. So I had to kind of scramble a little bit, but I really enjoyed your show and it was very informative. And we'll definitely come back to that with my shout outs for the sweetest at the end of the show. I also have the Sunday morning brunch live each week at 10 a.m. Central, and that's right here on Glammaz Closet. And that is an open live chat, and we just talk to each other and talk about reselling and fashion and things like that. 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Hawaii, which I hope and pray is doing okay in the recovery. I know it's got to be a brutal process and an awful process. So just know that we're thinking of you. And of course, 4 p.m. tea time in Great Britain. I will also be on Save Here First. That is with Ella. So I'll be on Save Here First with Ella, and Johnny on this coming Thursday, August the 24th at noon. And when I say noon, I mean that's my time, noon. So that's noon Central Standard Time. And then on Wednesday, August the 30th, I'll be at the Cajun Roots Hump Day auction at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So that is what's going on. There's something odd going on with my StreamYard, so I apologize if you do not see, if I don't see you in the chat. There's a reason for it. StreamYard's been very, very glitchy lately, and I know because I've been on it like 20 times this week. Y'all are probably getting sick of me a little bit. So, in fashion news, the style watch for fall is out. And according to the New York Times fashion section, it includes bucket bags, pointed toe stilettos, and fitted coats in camel. Camel, the color, not the actual skin of the animal. I don't know. Also, Edward Sexton, who was a bespoke tailor for Savile Row, and his lifetime partner in fashion, Tommy Nutter. Edward Sexton passed away at the age of 80. So as resellers, we're wondering, why does that matter? It matters because if you come across an Edward Sexton bespoke, it may be worth more than it was before. So there's a reason why I give you the fashion news, just, a heads up. The Business of Fashion website reports that H&M says it will phase out sourcing from Myanmar. H&M became the latest brand to cut ties with suppliers in the country after Zara owner Inditex, Primark, Marks & Spencer, and others. The world's second biggest fashion retailer. Okay, let me restart that. The world's second biggest fashion retailer, H&M, has decided to gradually stop sourcing from Myanmar, it told Reuters on Thursday, as reports of labor abuses in garment factories in the countries increase. H&M became the latest brand to cut ties with suppliers in the country after Zara owners and others, while recognizing the challenge companies face to ensure that they are not linked to abuses. Some experts say the exits could ultimately leave the workers in the country worse off. A military coup in February of 2021 plunged Myanmar into a political and humanitarian crisis with widespread violence, also disrupting the economy. After careful consideration, H&M said in an email to Reuters, we have now taken the decision to gradually phase out our operations in Myanmar. So I believe that the tide is starting to turn on the fast fashion industry, and they're starting to have to answer to their sourcing from countries and from areas that have severe worker abuses. So that's definitely a sort of a thing that's happening now. And if you're in the chat and you're wondering why I haven't said hello, it's because literally I'm having trouble seeing the chat. So I'm going to pull this up on YouTube and just make sure that I am doing this correctly. And I really think it's a StreamYard glitch. Either that or nobody's coming to my channel. I'm not sure. That'd be funny. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, oh my God, yes, there's so many people. Okay, let me say hi and good morning really quickly to the actual chat, because StreamYard is being a sissy. StreamYard's being a boohoo. Okay, Susie, good morning, Susie Dragonfly Bees. Mwah, good morning, it's good to see you. And I hope you have good luck at the flea market. Good morning, Sissy, I love you, it's good to see you. Raquel, good morning. I love you. It's good to see you. Aisha Dancer, Cameron Mitke. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Cameron. All the Ks. MD Picker. Hi, Shay. How you doing? Good morning. Jennifer Hayes, you gorgeous thing. Good morning. It's good to see you. Let's see. Where am I? We're here. Yeah, the thing is that I've got this weird thing happening with StreamYard this week, so they're just doing like goofy stuff. And if I go to banners and then I go back to comments, it doesn't, you would think that it would fill in the comments like it normally does, and it is not doing that. So how fun. Thank you, StreamYard, for yet another stellar performance. They're just being silly. I do want to also talk about fall wedding season. Fall wedding season is upon us, so don't be surprised if dresses, suits, cocktail dresses are going to be some of the first things that start to move out. If you haven't already seen that, and I've already been seeing that for the past 3 weeks, dresses have really picked up, and this week was no exception to that rule. And I even sold a mother of the bride dress that has been sitting around forever. So for the hard goods people, when you start seeing weddings, start thinking jewelry, shoes, but also things like you're probably going to get some last minute requests for decor, or things that have been lost and nobody can find them and they're panicking. Support. You're going to start seeing more intimate support clothing, I think, really, that's going to be popping up. Because who wears a dress without Spanx anymore? Not that many of us. So I just want to remind you, everybody in the chat, that please hit like and subscribe. It is free of charge. Doesn't cost anything. And I did want to introduce the newest thing that I have, which is show and tell. And the show and tell is going to be this. It has to do with my find of the week today, which was something that actually I found earlier, but it came in the mail this week, and I'm so excited. It is a Valentino wallet, and I sourced it, but I didn't source it in my usual spots. I sourced it online with an auction from Nady Pie and Chuck last week before, and it came in the mail, and I'm so excited. And as you can see, it is clearly branded in all the right places. It's got, if you can't see, there's the Valentino stamp. There's also the Valentino interior with the brand print, and then it's got the Valentino hammer on the bow. So I'm excited about that, and that's what I wanted to talk about. If you have, as resellers, we don't really have, I can show my husband that I got a great pair of shoes, like a designer pair of shoes for cheap, and he's happy for me in a general sort of way, but he has no idea what I'm talking about. And it really, sharing with each other our successes and our wonderful treasures, that we find when we're outsourcing, is really it's so much fun. So what I wanted to do is this: if you want to have your item promoted on my channel on a Sunday, shoot me an email or shoot me an Instagram with the photo of it, and I will put that photo up and tell everybody about your find of the week, and we'll celebrate your success as well. We'll celebrate your treasure hunt success. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know. Hi, Soto. Good morning. I see you in the chat. Sorry, I'm a little behind with the chat. So if you have a success or you have something that you find, and whether it doesn't have to be clothing or shoes or jewelry, it can be something, it can be a hard good that you're like, wow, this is a really rare cookie jar and I found it at the bins, or, it's anything that blows your mind. And it doesn't have to blow my mind, just let it blow your mind. So anything that you're really happy about, if you want to send that to me on Instagram, if you want to send that to me by email, both of those are below. And just let me know, hey, guess what I found this week? And we're gonna do show and tell fun finds, and I'm gonna do at least one a week. And if I don't get any from you, I'm gonna be showing my stuff. So I'm gonna be showing my goods. I'm not gonna. Well, okay, I'll be showing the things that I found. There's so much. I'm guessing if I click back over to the YouTube live stream that there's gonna be like 20. That's what she says. I pulled out my old vintage clothing. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's what she said all over the place. No showing your goods. Thanks, Cam. Show your goods, sis. There's more than one way to get subscribers, right? I guess. I'll save that for my OnlyFans. Don't do anything unless you're getting paid for it. That's the motto. No, I'm joking. I did want to talk a little bit about this week in sales because it's also more of the results that we're seeing from the listing challenge. So I had 14 sales this week, and let's take a look at those. Okay, last week we ended with the Sesto Meucci camel colored leather driving shoes. I've got a motherhood maternity light gray v-neck hoodie sweatshirt, and I found this at the bins, and it was fantastic. And it's motherhood maternity. I always have fairly good luck with maternity items. I don't pick them up often, but when I do, they tend to flip fairly consistently. I don't have a lot, but they do flip consistently. The 2XL rainbow ringer tee from Forever 21. I'm sorry, the motherhood maternity sold for, here, let me move my notes really quickly. Motherhood maternity sold for $21, and I made $16.80 net after fees and shipping discounts. The 2XL rainbow ringer tee from Forever 21. It's unusual to sell this much, even $13 much on a Forever 21 piece, unless it's like new with tags. But this one was a rainbow, and so I sold that for $13, and my net was $8.03. The new Carhartt tan long sleeve crew neck FR shirt. That sold for, it says 35, but it actually sold for 25, and I got 20 from that. She made me an offer that I could not refuse. The glass Christmas tree with lights, and I sourced that at an auction, and I got it, and I decided to flip it, and that sold for 15, and I made $9.98 on that. The Elvis Presley pajama set, and again, I sourced that at an online auction. I got it. I loved it. It did not fit. It was about, these pants are really long, so it was about a foot too long. And I'm like, well, I can either hang them, I can either hem them, or I can just, pass them along to the next Elvis fan, which I did. For $20, which is what I paid for them. So I lost a little money on that one, but I did net $16 on that. This apple bottom extra long animal print halter maxi dress XL. There's so much description and there's so much going on with this dress. But I have a friend who was leaving for Mexico, and we went thrifting, and this is one of the things that she bought. It was at a Goodwill though that didn't have their fitting rooms open, so we got it back, and she's well endowed in certain places that are not really all that well covered with this dress. So then I tried it on, and again, it was about a foot and a half too long. Plus, I looked like a pregnant walrus, so I flipped it. She just gave it to me. She's like, she spent $8 on it. She gave it to me for free, and she's like, "Here, I'm not going to use it. Go sell it." So I sold it for $14, which was a fast flip, and that was I made $11.05 on that. New with tags, Cacique Heather blue bralette, picked that up at the bins, and that I sold for 10, and the profit on that, was $7.05. I had a Daymore pink petite full length mother of the bride dress. I've had this for like a year, and again, it was a bins find, so you can't pass up like a mother of the bride's dress that's brand new with tags. But boy, that thing sat around for a minute, and so that finally sold for 40. My original price on that was like $80, and it's gone for way less than that. But I did make 32 on that, and since it was a bins find, it was worth sitting on for a while. The Nick and Nora Pink Poodle Paris print, how alliterative, but cotton pajamas. Those also sold this week. They sold for 40. Nick and Nora is always a good bet. They sold for 40. I had them listed for 50. Somebody offered 40, and I went ahead and took it. And so 40, and I made $32 on that one. The Harley Davidson black long sleeve crew neck t-shirt. I really thought that it would be stretchy enough that it would be kind of cute to wear in the fall. And it does not fit me at all. It looked ridiculous on me. So I took it back off, washed it, sold it for $12. I think I paid like $5 for it. I sold it for 12, and I made $7.03 after fees. And then the last line, I have the new with tag Betsy Johnson Jack-o'-lantern Halloween post earrings. I don't know if Aunt Boo remembers this, but we found that at that yard sale when we went in that big yard sale day and filmed all over the place. I paid, the price on these was $2, but I ended up bundling a bunch of Betsy Johnson. For some reason, it was like a giveaway at Macy's or something, and she got like a ton of Betsy Johnson, the lady who owned the house and was getting rid of it. And she got it for free, so sold it to me. And I bundled a bunch of them, so I think my average cost of goods was actually about 50 cents, 75 cents on these. I sold those for 15 and made $9.98 after fees. This Vera Bradley B print blue wristlet, I bought that from somebody's auction. I don't remember whose, but that sold for 14, and the net is $11.05. And then this one I bought last year, and it's an extra large dog gnome costume, and I thought it would be hilarious to put one of my dogs in it, and neither of my dogs would stand still long enough for me to even get it near them. I mean, they weren't having it. So I went ahead and just sold it for $11, and I made $6.03. And this came in yesterday while I was doing the vintage auction. And this is not vintage. And it wasn't part of the auction, but that was a sale that happened while I had the vintage auction. It was a white fringe and feather mini dress. Left a good job in the city. I mean, this is so Tina Turner. And that was a size small, and that sold for $25, and I made $17.98. So let's jump into the chat just to make sure that everything is going well. Hi, Deb. Hi, Cops. How you doing? Yeah, I apologize again if I have missed anybody in the chat. There is something going on with StreamYard that I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to keep trooping because, you are all entertaining and lovely people, and you know what you're doing in the chat. So my numbers for the week, 14 sales. Of those, 4 were tops. 1 was for home. 3 of those were intimates. 3 of those were dresses. 1 was jewelry. 1 was bags and accessories, and 1 was pets. 14 sales at an average cost of goods of $3 per item is $42. So my gross for the week for those 14 sales was $275 total. My net after Poshmark fees and after discounts and shipping was $204.98. If I subtract my cost of goods, which was $42, my net profit was $162.98 for the week. So that's a good week. And especially mid-month, that's a very good week, because mid-month is a little on the tough side. And I can directly attribute that to our listing challenge. I think that listing works. I think that it's a really effective way of listing consistently, listing often, and listing more things. It's a really effective way of getting your information out there. And it's nice to grab more sales. The reseller news, and let's catch up with that in just a moment. I want to make sure I catch up with the chat, because again, I'm 10 years behind. So I'm looking at it on YouTube right now. Good morning, Lynn. Hello. I hope everything in the UK is doing well. I hope your tea time is lovely. Hello, Fartsat Jack. Good morning. How you doing this morning? And Myra, I see you. Hello. Mwah. Thank you so much for the sale this week. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But thank you so much. I really appreciate. Oh, you don't remember, but those are cute. Yeah, they had. I have one last piece in my closet from that. They've sold through almost 100%. So I was really happy about that. And that was a very good pickup for me. And like I said, I think I ended up paying like $5 for like a bundle of like 9 or 10 items. So that's crazy good. So this week in sales was good. And again, directly attributed to the listing challenge. Thank you for everybody once again who joined us for that listing challenge. That was incredible. Want to hear about my grandkids? Horizon Pick sent me this. He knows Glammaz, I guess. So thank you, Roy, for a lovely coffee cup and an opening, an icebreaker to talk about my grandkids. In reseller news this week from e-commerce bites. Okay, this is a long story, and I'm not entirely sure I have all the facts. So I'm just going to share with you what they shared with the public, and you can go from there. PayPal is changing how it charges sellers for transactions paid using QR codes. PayPal has been sending out notices of a change to its user agreement and numerous other legal agreements this week. Under amendments to the PayPal user agreement effective October 23rd, 2023, and that's the actual title of the email that they're sending. PayPal said it was changing fees. It charges sellers for QR code transactions. So like if you beep and it's like the little square, I think is the QR code. The new pricing will result in fee increases for some transactions. Currently, PayPal charges 1.9% plus a fixed fee for QR code transactions over $10. And 2.4% for transactions $10 and under. Beginning October 23rd, they'll be charging 2.29% plus a fixed fee, no matter the dollar amount. PayPal made it clear it was changing the fees for QR codes, but users were left to figure out what other changes to the legal agreement might impact them. An increasingly common practice among tech firms that can leave their users vulnerable to surprises. I've seen this. The page stated the user agreement is being amended to clarify the scope and applicability of the commercial entity agreement to specified card payments received by sellers and blah, 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 blah. Basically, what they do is they muck it up with legalese and make it darn near impossible to understand. So basically, they're like BS. We're changing stuff, and you can't do anything about it. BS. Corporate speak. We suggest users review the legal agreements and contact. And again, this is from e-commerce bites, but I agree with Ina on this one. And contact PayPal and ask for specifics. Here are the other legal agreements PayPal said they were changing, and this may apply to those of us who do online auctions. Or auctions on YouTube. They're changing the PayPal online card payment services agreement on October 23rd. Pay Zettel hardware and delivery terms. I don't know what Pay Zettel is. So if you deal with that, that's one of those changes that they're making. They're doing a discontinuation of the PayPal Here services and removal of related items. And again, that's effective September 30th. And I don't know what that is. Amendments to PayPal debit MasterCard cardholder agreements. Those are effective September 12th, so I would definitely check those out. Amendments to PayPal terms of use for Google Pay. For PayPal.me terms and conditions, those are also being changed. Now, the thing that scares me is the amendment to the PayPal privacy statement, and that's going to be effective September 5th, so we want to take a look at that. And one that doesn't really, I don't think it affects me at all, but if you do this, there is going to be on October 23rd an amendment to the PayPal cryptocurrency terms and conditions. The last major change that they recall PayPal making to its legal agreements was last year when it closed the friends and family fee loophole. As we noted at the time, personal transactions were known as friends and family in PayPal lingo. Some sellers had encouraged buyers to use this method to avoid paying the fees. Imagine doing that. Though it left buyers without certain purchase protections. Excuse me, I am so sorry. So basically, I think PayPal is sort of, my guess is that they're getting wise to some workarounds. But I also think that they're using this opportunity to screw the masses, which is, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody sets out to deliberately screw people out of money. PayPal, but there are certain goods and services that costs are going to increase. There is an economic downturn, and I think that's going to affect a lot of those. So let's take a look in the chat. Good morning, Scarlett. It's good to see you. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Let me know if I missed anyone. Scarlett, my love, I hope you are doing well this afternoon. Raquel, did I say hello? I hope yeah. I fell off the listing wagon too this week, Raquel. And I feel like I need to get back on that horse. So don't be surprised if I pop up with a listing thing. Please hit thumbs up for your Glamma. We do have 17 in the chat. Thank you so much, Raquel. I would highlight your thing, except I can't because I can only read it on YouTube. StreamYard's doing something very strange today, guys. But we're gonna roll with it. We're relaxed about it. Let things happen. Okay, so there's also in the news eBay. There were several jewelry items worth up to 63,000 American dollars. They were stolen from the British Museum in London, and then the idiots turned around and tried to sell them on eBay, and they were selling them for as little as $50, like $50 US. A museum curator suspected of being behind the thefts was fired, and police are investigating. So that is an ongoing investigation. But yeah, so they're stealing jewelry. They stole jewelry from the British Museum in London and then tried to sell it on eBay for $50. I just, it's, you ever see those TV shows that are like stupid things criminals do, and you're like, okay, yeah, that was a pretty stupid criminal. That's the one. He's not that, he or she, just not that smart. I mean, honestly. Poshmark blackout. Here's an interesting thing that showed up in my Instagram feed this morning, and I have no idea where this comes from, whether it's a big thing, a small thing, I just don't know. So I'm going to have to do a deep dive on this. But there was a notification from one of the resellers, and I don't remember who it was. I'll have to look at that. Poshmark blackout. They're going to do a Poshmark blackout August the 22nd. That's this Tuesday from noon to 11:59 p.m. And again, they didn't say like what time zone that was or anything, to raise awareness about cyberbullying on the platform. So I do agree that on any selling platform, you can come across cyberbullying, especially when you're first selling. People think that they can sometimes get away with things like that. There are ways to block people on Poshmark. You can just simply, unfollow and they can't come to your page anymore, and they can't make any comments or whatever. So they do have, I feel like Poshmark does have something of a cyberbullying thing in place. If somebody has purchased from you and they want to keep, kicking a dead horse or whatever, I suppose they could go into view messages. But again, if somebody gets out of hand, I was under the impression that if you block them on Poshmark, you won't see them again. And so far, that has been the case with me. So I'm not entirely sure why this is happening. Maybe something new about Poshmark has cropped up, or maybe there is a different sort of way of, like, I don't know, cyberbullying, where they're able to figure out how to get around the system to bully somebody. It seems like an awful lot of work. Usually bullies are not really into that much work, but so yeah, I'd like to do a deep dive on that. And if anybody wants to take a look and let me know, or if anybody has any information, please drop it in the chat and I will check that out for sure later. That is really about all the reselling news that I have right now. Angry Otter, mwah, good morning, Michael. Good morning, my angel. And Cajun Roots Reseller, good morning, Johnny. It's good to see you. Let's see. Let's see. They do that every year, and there's still millions of people using the app, but we all do what we can. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I simply do not know what they're talking about. I've never seen it before show up in my feed, but I don't pay that much attention to things that don't directly affect me, unless I'm like happen to be like, kind of casually Sunday morning wandering on the internet. So that was kind of I was like, okay, what happened? But they offered nothing. They offered no further information. There was no link. There was no nothing. So I'm like, I don't know. My salty treat for this Sunday, not too salty, but I am going to ask a favor. And it's specific to Poshmark. But I feel like other technology, other platforms could probably use this information, or maybe use this insight. Could you please slow down is all I'm asking. I took a Poshmark class, and it was taught by two people who are much younger than I am, who would be much more tech savvy, and I love that. I'm not knocking anybody under the age of 50 or 40 or whatever. The thing that I really had an issue with was when I got to my Posh Live, there was really no tutorial that sort of slowed it down and said, okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, this is what you do. There was really no information that I could capture, and so I think that on their behalf, they're assuming a great more deal of tech savviness than not everybody possesses. I also think that they went way too fast, and I'm not the only person who thought that. They went very, very, very fast in their and the chat kept telling them, hey, slow down, and it wasn't just me. There were like 20 people who were like, hey, slow down, please. And they completely ignored the chat and just plowed right through. So it's really hard for some people to wrap their heads around something until they get past this certain particular point. And so I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you very politely, please, for the love of God, slow down your tutorials just a little bit. Let people ask questions. I think you're going to end up with better results that way. And certainly I would have ended up with a better show that way, I think. I got more information from another show that I went to than I did any of that. Okay, let me pop back in and check the chat. Thanks for the chat. Tea's ready. Good. Dana, I'll do a Zoom with you for Poshmark anytime. You are so sweet, Lisette. You are so sweet. I've never heard of a blackout on Poshmark. Makes me wonder if it's kind of a fringe thing. Yeah, I really think that, and I think that there are people who, on the one hand, cyberbullying is bad. There's no question about that. Being aggressive towards other sellers is unnecessary, and we've all seen it happen, whether it's happening on YouTube, whether it's happening on eBay, whether it's happening on Poshmark or whatever platform that you're selling on. We've seen it happen. Of course we have. that being the case, I also think that, maybe too, there are certain things that you can do to sort of de-escalate that situation. I think that if you because most bullies are narcissists, and most narcissists want attention, whether it is good or bad. So if you give them zero attention and don't respond and just block them, I feel like maybe there are some situations that get completely out of control and out of hand because nobody stops and says, okay, this is enough and this is silly. I'm not arguing with I'm not arguing with somebody that I don't even know about something that they decided to say. I'm just going to block them and move on with my life. It's just, life is so short. Life is so short. So, I'm not saying give in to bullies every time, block them, walk away. But I am saying, and I'm saying absolutely stand up for yourself. But there comes a point when it's gotten out of control. And I've seen some of these streams where this person will have, 300 comments, and 250 of those comments on their profile picture are nothing but back and forth between bullies. And it just seems like it just seems very avoidable to me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it seems very avoidable to me. I think there are ways of dealing with it and handle it. Yes, if you don't like somebody, just keep it moving. Not everybody has to be exactly what you like. It makes the world much more interesting. Yeah. And Myra, you're right. And more time to place bids on these auctions. I really wish that they had like a 2-minute time spot on the Posh Live. So yeah, fart sack, so much drama on here. I have put so many people. That's the thing. Sometimes people get their feelings hurt in this online sort of pretend world, and everybody's guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. People get their feelings hurt from time to time. And it's not always, unfairly so. Sometimes people are just, there are bullies everywhere. There are people who are not happy unless they're breaking somebody down. But you have a choice. You have a choice. You can jump in fighting, or you can walk away. You can jump in fighting or walk away. There are a few certain things that I will jump in fighting about. Absolutely. And I'll fight till my last breath. But most of it is just pettiness and silliness. And, life's too short for that. Life's too short for that. And my chat is way too good for that. Y'all are too good for that sort of behavior. You're lovely people with a great deal of maturity. Yeah, you just quietly ghost channels that have drama. Yeah. Guys, excuse me. I am so sorry. It's I have sneezed about 1,000 times this morning. I really do. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like one, I do want to roll this up with the sweeties. I want to say thank you, a very special thank you to everyone who came to my Posh Live show. I really appreciate it. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that you took the time to stop in the Poshmark live show, or at least try to. Some of you tried to, and it didn't let you in, or some of you tried to bid and it was too fast, or it just wouldn't let you bid. But I do thank so much. I'm so grateful to everybody who tried to come in. I appreciated the support so much. Did I sell anything? Well, I sold one thing, but it was outside of Poshmark. But I still consider it a Poshmark sale, and we'll ship it as such. Myra with Buying Space, thank you so much for your purchase of the necklace from the first Posh Live. And yes, it does count to me, honey. So I'll be sending that in my typical Poshmark packaging with my typical Poshmark thank yous. I want to make sure that you have a way to open that and have that posh experience. I also wanted to give a wonderful thank you to Lisette, New England thrifter. She did me a solid that she didn't even know she was doing when she did it, but she sent me the invitation for her Poshmark Live on Saturday night. So I went into her Poshmark Live as much as I could. Again, it was date night, but as much as I could, I went into her Poshmark Live. It was very professionally hosted. She had the music on in the background, which tells me that you don't have to have it from the device that you're actually filming from either. And I was able to see how it was supposed to be done and visually see like the list on the left and the quick list and all of that and what that meant. So there were so many things that I picked up. And I believe that honestly, I learned more than I did with a 30-minute, lightning speed tutorial from Poshmark. I think I learned more from watching Lisette for 5-10 minutes. I mean, it was just incredible. Plus, I got some really great stuff. So thank you so much, Lisette, for hosting a wonderful professional show. And hopefully, we'll see you. We'll see you there. So next time. Yeah, it. I don't know why it wouldn't let you on, Lisette, but that it drives me crazy that I didn't. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to George, and it's spelled like Jaw G as in George E. So this is actually what his channel looks like, and I'm going to type this into the chat on YouTube. And again, sorry about all the snot. Thank you for and I put harmonica. It's actually a kazoo. And thank you so much to George. I want to give him a shout out because George does this cool thing when somebody has a sale. And while he is live with them, he plays the kazoo. And I don't know which end of this is. That seems to be the end. I got myself a rose gold little kazoo on Amazon. I'm so excited. I know. I'm like, I gotta stop with the kazoo. I'll stop. Sorry, it's way too early for kazoo noise. But I thought that was so. But I thought that was so much fun. George has such a fun channel, and I thought that was fun. And I asked him in a live, if it was okay if I stole his idea and used it on my live too, and he said yes. Which way to put George on the spot, right? Way to put George on the spot. So, but he was kind enough to be like, absolutely share the idea. So if you have a sale happen while I am on live and you are in my chat, please let me know. Type in the word in all caps like this. Just say sale like that. And we will celebrate your sale together, because I really feel like the reason to have community is to celebrate things together. We all want to celebrate our successes together. You're my coworkers, and you're the ones who speak my language and know what I'm talking about. You're the ones who are excited about the same things I am and challenged by the same things I am. So why not let's celebrate together as well as commiserating together. So if you make a sale while we're on a live, please let me know, shout out sale, and I will kazoo on those StreamYards where I can actually see the chat. And again, there may be something happening with StreamYard. I think Bamboo is right. She's much more technically alert than I am. Hey, Dodo. Better late than never, honey. Some people pew pew, some people kazoo, to each their own. I kind of do both. You have a kazoo kink. Fartsack, I think you have more than one. I'm guessing that there's more than one kink. But yeah, it's kazoos are darn near impossible to resist, aren't they? I mean, they're just like, it's almost like those, what do you call those little things that, when you celebrate a birthday or a New Year's Eve or something, you have the party hat and then you have the party, like the party whistle that like rolls out and rolls back in. They're darn near irresistible. Like if you see one in front of you, you got to pick it up and go, dude, you got to toot it. So it's a lot of fun. And thank you again, George, thank you so much, George, for the opportunity to borrow your fantastic idea. I really think it's going to be a hit. Either that or it's just going to annoy the crap out of my dogs. I'm not sure. We'll find out. So with that, I really think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week because, and Dodo, I'm so sorry. I hope you catch it on the replay. And by the way, Dodo, I'll be sending, I mentioned earlier that I'm probably going to be popping up for a couple of hours here and there throughout the week just to do like listings. So I will send you the link with that because you are a fantastic listing partner. So that's really that really wraps us up for about this week for the closet and for my reselling journey for this week. I have dropped about 10 billion videos this week, but some of them are fun. I've got boot cleaning and how to do that, or at least how my daddy did it. I've got one on new mistakes that newer resellers make, and just some common mistakes that new resellers make that we have all made. Trust me, we know these not because we're judging you. We know these because we made them all. I've also got one on thread-up shoebox unopening. So there are several. I did a live before and a live after my Poshmark live, just to sort of gear up and come down and give you really what my experience was with it, because maybe a shared experience will help guide you or will help, give you maybe some ideas about what it is actually like to host a Poshmark live show. So with that being said, I think trying to catch up with me over 1900 and counting. Wow. Oh, you may get a box and show it live. I love it. You shaved your head last night. Liv, good morning. Hello, gorgeous. If I did not say good morning before, and I again, it's really hard for me to keep up with the chat, and that sucks so bad. Oh, good. I have new things to list. Good. Let's see. Soto, okay, bye. Have a great day, Soto. Sorry, I'm missing everything. Angry Otter did a live showing on how he uses AI art to make t-shirts for eBay. So that was incredible. I loved that. And Liv, why did you shaved your head? Okay, G.I. Jane. All right. I hear you. Own it, own it, own it. You know what? I bet you still are incredibly beautiful. And I bet there are certain people who have beautiful heads. And I know that sounds really crazy, but there are certain people who have beautiful heads. Have you ever seen like Yul Brynner? Or Sinead O'Connor had a beautiful head. She was, I would have like a little bitty, I would look like a tiny dot on top of like a big mountain, because I have a tiny head. But I bet it's beautiful, and we can't wait to follow up with you and see pictures. So I bet it's absolutely gorgeous, and I bet it feels nice and cool too. I'm like wearing wet hair right now because it's so hot. It's so hot. So without further ado, I'm the queen of ado. Oh, Liv, I can't wait to see the video. I can't wait. So please drop that link in the video. Drop that link in the chat. And I just realized there was a... And then there's one other thing I need to do before we adieu. Save. Okay. So thank you so much for being here this Sunday. I appreciate your time. Again, I apologize for the chat issue. Certainly nothing I don't think that I can do about it. I left and came back in. That was a spider issue, but I'm hoping that I was hoping that it would also, boost up the chat, but it is what it is. It's, who knows what that comes from. But whether you're in the chat or not in the chat, and no matter where you go to chat, don't you forget, please don't ever forget, Glamma loves you.